I just finished running through the campaign, getting all reward quests in only 6 hours and 13 minutes. This isn't the fastest time by any means. I'm sure others out there can do it much, much faster. I myself had a terrible Act 3 where I found myself 10 levels below the area level, meaning I had to go back to previous zones and farm levels, because the EXP reduction meant I was getting 0 EXP. Act 3 alone took me the longest at 2.5 hours, and I'm pretty sure I could shave that down at least 30 minutes. I also didn't prepare as fully as I'm about to show you in this video. Here we are in our speedrun stash tab. Never mind the messy inventory, I'm testing builds. To fully prepare for your campaign run, you're going to want to stockpile gear for all levels. That means from level 1 to around 55. What I've prepared here is the warrior leveling kit. Now, yours might not look the same, and these might not be the best items you could possibly have at every level, but by taking this maybe 30-minute preparation time to prepare your character is going to save you hours into the campaign. The most important piece you're going to want to prepare are weapons. Good weapons are critical to your speed through the campaign. By upgrading at least every 10 levels, you guarantee that you'll never fall behind in damage and take too long to kill a boss. And as they say, the greatest offense is the greatest defense, right? For warriors, I think Hog Hunt is the best level 1 unique mace that you can get. It doesn't have any sockets because sockets require a level. I didn't exactly follow this every 10 levels rule in my speedrun. My weapons were roughly every 15 levels, and sometimes it's hard to find an upgrade in between these because people will be selling them for upwards of a divine. For level 16, I'm just using a rare mace. And for level 30, although this mace's base level is level 28, I've socketed in greater iron runes, which have a level requirement of 30. And for 46, I am using the Tidebreaker Maul, which pretty much carried me all the way through the rest of the campaign. It fell off a little around 55, so you can also equip something around then, which is when I bought this. For armors, I start with Foxshade. It doesn't have a level requirement, but it does have a dexterity requirement. From level 20 onwards, I pretty much just use the Titan Rock Cataphract chest piece. It gives a massive amount of armor and increased strength for more health. The reduced dexterity and intelligence don't really matter, and you probably won't have much life regen anyways, so that also doesn't matter. For level 30, I'm just using the same thing but with 2 greater iron runes for more armor. For the helmet, I just use Horns of Bindon at level 1. It has no level requirement. There's another helmet that gives dexterity, which you could also use to equip Foxshade from level 1. And then at level 27, we use the Thrill Steel helmet for onslaught, permanent onslaught. For boots, you can buy a no level requirement 10% move speed boots. I've socketed with 6 dexterity to help equip my Foxshade at level 1. At level 11, you can equip Wanderlust for 20% move speed. And then at higher levels, you can equip 25. For gloves, I start with North Paw. These can also be equipped at level 1 and give a big boost to physical damage and crit. To equip the Shiaba Maul, since it has a high dexterity requirement, I switched to the Jarn Gripir, whatever that word is, gloves, so that strength can satisfy all requirements of melee weapons. And then you can switch at 46 when you equip the Tidebreaker Maul to like a rare with good rules like attack speed, physical damage, life, leech. For rings, you can equip 2 Blackheart rings. For a belt at level 1, I equip the Meganjord's Girdle. It gives a massive amount of strength, and I pretty much use this through the whole campaign. For amulets at level 8, I just use the Revered Resin. It gives your life flasks charges per second, which is pretty helpful for just not dying, and a bit of strength and maximum life. I replaced the Blackheart rings at around level 30 for these ruby rings with physical damage to attacks and life with leech. And I placed the Revered Resin amulet with just some random rare with strength and fire res. I focused on fire res because I was leveling a Smith of Katava, and that allowed me to cap out my resistances. But you can focus on all reses if you're not leveling as a Smith of Katava. And these rings pretty much carried me through the rest of the campaign. So you can prepare potions in the stash tab too. I found that it was easy enough to just buy them from the vendor every time I was in town. But sometimes I fell behind on my potions and it was a problem, so preparing them in your stash tab ahead of time. Greater Jeweler's Orbs. These are pretty cheap. They give your gems 4 sockets. Big damage. Enough said. You can stockpile support gems uncut. You don't have to use 5 or 4s. That's just all I have at the moment. You're going to want enough of these to cover 2 or 3 skills. Personally, I just stuck with Mace Strike and Rolling Slam for most of the campaign, only adding Forge Hammer when I got it. And that about does it for the stash tab and your passive tree ahead of time. This will save you a lot of time deliberating what to go and where to go. A good rule of thumb is just to path over all the damage nodes you can. This 2-hander cluster and this attack cluster are really good. These strength clusters are good. Any like attack speed, skill speed here. I went down to get this attack speed if I've been hit recently. Keep in mind you'll probably have to respec later, but it's worth it to speed up your campaign run by slotting in all damage passives. And that about does it for the in-game speedrun prep. Out of game, you can practice your pathing. There's a speedrunners Discord with layouts. There's other YouTube creators with layout videos. I might do a speedrun with a commentary later. And just what I learned from this speedrun attempt is that you want to average around 1 level per zone. So, like, I know sprinting is really fun and you can go really fast now. But sprinting past every single monster in every zone, which, by the way, is mostly possible, will brick you in the long run because you'll be too low level to gain proper EXP. Don't make the same mistake I did. There are probably zones where it's better to kill things in than others, like say if they have higher density or if it's a very narrow corridor zone where you can't sprint past things, but I've yet to figure that out. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if there are any things that I missed or any things that you do to speed up your speedruns or leveling your alts. And like the video and subscribe for more.